Previously on the After Class podcast show. I really love the way they film the show. The slow motions, the zooming in. What I will say is this.
Tell me about it.
I watch that show and I say, wow, I'm never eating again.
As we're eating food.
As I have a jawbreaker and crepes.
We're watching it just eating Little Caesars.
They are in peak physical shape.
Yeah, it's definitely whiplash going from that other show. What was it called?
Motherly Instinct.
Motherly Instinct to DCC.
Right.
The one lady on it, the super fan of the DCC,
Okay.
she looked like she was in the wrong documentary.
He's so wrong for that. If you guys see, we're moving on.
Look at this photo. Now, do the same face pose.
Wait, is it this way?
Yeah.
Wait, I would have done my hair like this if I knew we were doing this.
This photo that we found at Home Goods, we walked past it and I had to do a double take. Like, did you pose? Like, did someone paint this of you?
It's actually pretty weird.
It's really weird.
Oh, look at you with the price on it and everything.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Get it, girl.
You're worth way more than $9.99.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Today, we have a very special guest, and he is a world traveler. If you are a fan of Bear Grylls or maybe even Ty Pennington, maybe a mix of the two, you're going to love our guest today. It is none other than Brad Banowetz.
I'll take that introduction. That's very very kind of you.
Did I say your last name correctly?
Banowetz, that's right.
Banowetz? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't say you don't say last names very often out and about.
You really don't, but actually, all my social media is Brad Bano.
Okay.
So my nickname one of my nicknames was always Bano. Like my mom even said it, like, "Hey, Bano." So Brad Bano is what I go by, but Banowetz is the full name.
I like that you have the shortened version, because when I go to search you, I don't know if I would ever. Sorry to say this, I don't know if I would spell your name right.
That was part of it. That was part of it. Bano is much easier than Banowetz.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Brad Bingo.
Yeah.
So we've got Brad Bano in the studio. A little studio etiquette. I'm going to do my best to not jump on you. I had to do it with our last guest. The microphone, it might have to get a little closer to you. There we go.
Perfect.
Beep, beep, beep. We backed that microphone right up to the mouth. So, Brad Bano, give us a little synopsis of who you are, what do you do, and where can we find... Let's start off, where can we find you? Because to that point, to have this man in the studio is not only a pleasure, but it's also very hard to get you... Not in just a studio, but just in the same state.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is hard to find me. It's hard to pin me down.
Right.
My full-time thing is traveling. So I'm in the world, various places pretty constantly. Right now I'm in Kansas City, hanging out here, kind of regrouping for the next trip. But yeah, and around the world is where I go. I'm a full-time traveler, content creator, photographer. And really my goal is to help encourage people to see the world beyond what they're typically used to, and hopefully encourage people to be curious about the world outside the U.S.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because every time I text you or call, you're probably on the side of a cliff, a mountain. You're in the sand dunes.
Yeah.
You're ripping some surf waves. You're doing something I wish I was doing.
Yeah.
You're
like, hey, where are you at? And I'm like, hey, I'm in Peru. Oh, sorry, I'm skiing down the mountainside in Canada. So
I think you need. What was it? Was it for Verizon or Sprint that had the "Can you hear me now"?
Oh, what was that? I think Verizon.
You should be the spokesman for that. Like,
I should be.
It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So Verizon, if you're out there, you can hear us now.
Yeah.
Let's hook up Brad Bano.
Yeah. I'll just be like walking on the peaks of the mountains in Canada, or scuba diving the oceans of Australia.
Or Twin Peaks in Kansas City, the restaurant. There we go.
Well, probably not. But
So, for real though, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Hopefully you didn't cancel a trip just for this.
I'll move anything around for you. So
Okay, perfect.
happy to be here.
But yeah, your studio, or no, your penthouse. This man has, I think it's like a side hustle. He is starting his own business of just luxury storage units. He has a penthouse with all of his things in it. I think we're onto something there. It's luxury storage units.
Yeah.
Make sure your things feel comfortable.
Right.
They have a good view of Kansas City downtown.
Right. Well, there's a little bit more to that. So originally, I started off living here full time in Kansas City, working in a couple other capacities. I was a financial planner prior, and so obviously being based in Kansas City, I needed a place to reside. Yeah, and so I love the city. Yeah, I love the electric atmosphere of being downtown. So ended up in a high-rise apartment, which is great. But it also makes for a good home base for traveling too. But to your point, it is a expensive storage unit for the time being.
I think maybe we can talk on that. We'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But no, so where can we find you? Like obviously around the world, but like socials, like let's go ahead and plug you in. Where can we find you?
Yeah, my main social is Instagram. So just Brad Bano, Brad Bano. Yeah. And that's where I post all most of my travel content.
Let's go.
I have a YouTube page. You can find that on my Instagram as well. Facebook page if that's more what you prefer. Yeah. But Instagram is my main page, just Brad Bano.
Okay, sweet. I guess we'll just dive into, so there's some listeners out there that right now they're just part-time travelers. Mm-hmm. They're working their 9 to 5s or 5 to 9s, and they're seeing your content and they're like, I would love to be doing what Brad's doing, full-time traveling. I guess I'm pivoting around here. I guess what got you into it? What inspired you? Fill in the blank.
That's a great question. So travel has always been something that's been important to me. Ever since I was younger, my dad's an airline pilot. So even as a kid, we would fly around anywhere we went. And mainly domestically, because my mom never wanted to leave the country. So funny story with that. My mom and dad were across the border in Mexico when my older brother was still in the womb. And so they got stopped across the border from a Mexican police officer. Yeah. And demanded money. So my mom swore that she would never leave the country if they made it back into the States.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
They made it back in. But so that's why we never traveled anywhere internationally as a kid. We just stayed domestic. But travel had always been something that was of interest of mine. And I always loved adventure, even as a kid, being outdoors, hiking, camping, biking, all that kind of stuff. But my interest with international travel started in college. So I've basically been doing international travel for the last 10, 12 years.
Wow.
And
what's the longest you've been out of the States at one time?
One given stint? Just over 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
I think the longest I've been out of the U.S. was a couple of hours, actually. It was Mexico, went across the border, just kind of peddling some goods.
Yeah.
And came back.
Yeah.
Came right back. Had some other opportunities to do some traveling outside the U.S., but just didn't, I suppose.
You haven't been outside the U.S. that much?
I don't think I have. No.
So Mexico, is it?
Yeah.
We gotta get you out.
I know. I really do.
Yeah. Where do you want to go?
Oh, boy. Well, I'm here to find out where I should be going.
Yeah.
But Australia has been one that I think it would just be cool to go there. Australia, I mean, obviously Hawaii is still technically within the U.S., but it feels like it's an outside world. I feel like Japan would be kind of cool. China, perhaps. I don't know. I haven't put a ton of thought into it. I've found a lot of beautiful places in the U.S. I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't realize is there are a lot of beautiful places in the U.S. And they're so localized. I remember growing up, some people, they'd be like, oh yeah, I've never really been out of my hometown. It's wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
growing
that's
up,
pretty crazy.
We did a lot
KC's
of...
cool, but there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah, I've never been past Olathe.
Yeah,
It's like, wow, that's not even that far in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
And but to that point, we did a lot of road tripping. I think in the Midwest, that's kind of the
Very
thing.
popular. Get in your car. Drive the open road.
Yes. If you have kids, you just chuck them in a van, an SUV in the back of a truck, and you just hit the road. You have no plans. You just go.
Yeah.
But I think in the Midwest...
And that's the beauty of America, too.
Oh,
it's super easy to hop in your car and just go. Like, we forget about that.
For now.
Yeah. I mean, gas prices are high, but outside of that, though, it's like having the freedom to be able to hop in your car and go is something I feel like we take for granted because it's such a cool experience to be able to stop, and especially if you have time, just to be able to, like, I did a 5-week road trip in my car, in my Tesla a handful of years ago. And it was so fun just to be able to, like, I started in St. Louis, drove all the way to Seattle, kind of like made my way around a bunch of national parks, came down through California and back. And no issues with charging, did a handful of different national parks.
Shameless plug for the Tesla.
Yeah.
No issues with charging.
No issues with charging. Charging's great. And just had a blast seeing the beauty of the U.S. And I think to your point, I travel internationally quite often.
Yeah.
And I think after that 6-month trip, I was actually studying in Germany at the time, and I did 15 different countries all around Europe, the Middle East, and Northern Africa, and had a great experience. And it just really opened me up to all the different cultures and the different like food scenes and how diverse that area is. Yeah. But I think one thing that really landed with me when I came back was that, there's still a lot of the U.S. to see too. And so part of my experience with traveling is not just international, it's also how can I really make the most of seeing the U.S. too? Because we have a lot of great stuff here as well.
Yes. And like I was saying, so we would travel, we'd hop in the van. And I think the reason why road tripping is so popular in the Midwest is there might not be a lot of like scenes here. So it's like, all right, what's the closest place we can go? Major cities, Chicago, Minneapolis.
You're not stopping to see the cornfields?
There are some nice cornfields here and there. But like we would just drive all the time. And I think that is a part of growing up is you're just bored. You sit in the car and you just don't really do anything. And that was back when, oh my goodness, man, traveling back then was something completely different. We had atlases. I can remember my parents had, for the young listeners out there, for the little boys and girls, an atlas is essentially, it's a risk board. And that was what we would use to travel. And at the rest stops,
we'd be so lost if we had to go back 20 years.
Goodness, bro.
Yeah.
We would, at a rest stop, that's typically why you actually go to a rest stop, is to get the map
see where you're at
of the city or state you're in. And man, the intricacies of a map was pretty fascinating, actually.
I love maps, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's sad that they're not really, it's like a dying breed. I don't even think you could probably find a map at most rest stops anymore.
That's a good skill to have if you want to travel, is just be good with directions and know how to work a map still.
Yeah. And traveling, I don't know, could you do full-time traveling without social media, do you think?
Oh, I mean, I would say yes, but I think it'd be tough.
It'd be very tough because in
terms of which way, like what would you miss out on?
You could do it physically, but logistically or financially, you better have a big piggy bank.
Oh, for sure,
because you're not boosting posts and having a following.
Yeah, it'd be totally different because it'd be like people still do it. They volunteer in different countries. People will teach English to make money abroad. So there's different ways to do it.
Yeah.
But social media has definitely made it
a little more attainable.
Yeah, for sure.
To make it a profession.
For sure.
Is that the word? Profession?
Yeah.
But also, too, for our listeners and Brad, I typically prep a little bit for these podcasts. Some of you are like, that's shocking. It doesn't seem like it, but I do. Today's, it's a little off the cuff because, one, Brad is hard to find. He is hard to pin down. So it's not as methodical as I'd like it to be, but we're just going to keep it rocking and rolling. So you got inspired to become a world traveler. for our listeners out there that they're like, how are people doing this? How are they making money? Are they making money? I guess give us peel back the layers a little bit of, if you don't mind, what is it costing to do this lifestyle? Are you making money? How are you posting things and such?
Yeah. There's
What's the game plan?
Yeah, there's a lot to that answer. Social media has definitely made it like feasible to do it. How I've structured my business is doing things with photography as the main money generator of my business. So like social media is a part of it, and that's definitely where I post a lot of things. But the goal and what I do is I work with different businesses, whether that be like hotels or outdoor brands or outdoor companies, and work with them on creating content for their social media posts. So a lot of that is through the photography work. And so in terms of making money, it's them having me work for them and doing photography work. And then kind of the subproduct of that is getting to get cool shots for my social media.
So when you're traveling, what are you bringing with you most times?
Gear wise? Yeah. So laptop, of course. I have my Canon that I bring. I have an action camera, my Insta360, and then I bring a drone, tripod, and my phone, of course. And that's the bulk of the setup.
He basically has like $40,000 of electronics with him. Do you get insurance for these?
There is
things?
insurance for it. Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
How does that work?
So it's just a extra insurance policy that I have that is for camera equipment.
Is that through like a typical, just like I call Allstate?
Yeah.
And say I've got a computer. Really?
Yep. There's nothing too fancy.
Huh.
Yeah, you just call your insurance rep and tell them what you need, and they help you out.
Hey, Flo from Progressive. I accidentally my phone slipped on the side of the ocean, and it's gone. So you just call them up and.
Essentially, I'm pretty careful with my gear though.
Yeah.
I mean, outside of like taking it up on a cliff and potentially letting it fall down.
Have you ever lost something or damaged something?
I've not.
No. Okay.
Well, actually, I take that back. There's definitely been some damages that have happened, but I've never lost anything. I've never had anything stolen from me, thankfully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's been a time or two where I've went on a roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
You pull out the phone to get a video, and those things about fly out of your hand. It's very unexpected how fast those things are going. I remember there was a video where you were on the side of a boat, and you put your phone out the.
Oh yes.
And I was like, that thing. You better be tight gripping, double white knuckling that thing.
That was risky because I was deep in the Amazon in Peru, and I had just jumped on this boat. This is a funny story. I was going into this like 10-day expedition into the Amazon, and I'm the only American guy like in miles.
Yeah.
And I know very little Spanish, basically no Spanish. And so I get dropped off from my guide at the boat dock, and to paint the picture of what the story looks like, it's nothing like the US. It's like literally just a mud kind of
pathway,
like mud into the river. There's no like ramps or anything. These like boats that you get on are literally just like pulled up on the river, the river shore, or what is it called?
Dock?
No, just the side of the river. Like they literally just like, took the boat and just up the river bank. There we go.
Yeah.
And then the guy drops me off and says, "Okay, here's your next guy who's going to take you to the boat." So he like walks me to the boat. I get on this boat. I'm the only English speaking person on this entire boat. It's hot, humid. And then we just like set off into the Amazon, deep into the Amazon. Thankfully, the boat did have Starlink though, and so I was like,
the shameless post of this guy. Okay,
Elon should be paying us here.
He really should.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned Tesla, superchargers, vehicles, Starlink. I've got a little Optimus next to me.
Yeah,
proceed.
But I was like, this is the first time I've ever tried Starlink, at least in a remote area.
Yeah.
And so I'm deep in the jungles of the Amazon here in this muddy river. And I'm like, let me try this out, and maybe I'll do like a little live stream post.
Yeah.
And so I didn't have any tether on my phone, but I was like, okay, let me stick my hand out the boat and do a little post, which is what you're talking about. And I forgot what I said exactly. Basically, it was like, "Hey, I'm here from the Amazon, trying out Starlink."
Right.
And the comments on that were all just like, "I hope you have your phone tethered," or like, "I could never do that." But I was like, "Yeah, it's worth the risk for the cool video."
Right.
Yeah, and I made it to my destination.
Chase those likes, man. It doesn't matter if your iPhone just at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah,
get
but
those likes.
It's cool. When are you in the Amazon?
I've been seeing Starlink at Best Buy.
Yeah, they're easy to get now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, my buddy who does this also full time, he travels with his Starlink.
Really?
Yeah.
Starlink
Mini?
Do you know how those? You just press a button and they go?
The Starlink?
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. I mean, you have to plug them in, but they're battery packs you can get too. And so, you basically just take them with you, set them up, and you got internet anywhere in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing more and more about them. I think they also are starting to put them on airlines.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah. And they're super useful to have because I spent 2 weeks in Cameroon not too long ago. And I was thinking that I'd have easy internet access.
Right.
And no, it wasn't. Like, they have internet over there, but it runs at like 3 megabits per second or something like that.
Right.
So like
that does not sound very fast.
No, it was very slow. And so I was wishing I had a Starlink with me over there.
Yeah. When you are on the go, that's the way I'm going to put it. When we see your content, is it while it's kind of happening, or are you collecting, I guess for lack of a better term, data content, and then it's kind of like when you get back to the States, then that's when you kind of like edit. Like, what's your editing process? Are you doing it on the mountainside, or are you doing it on the boat, or are you kind of waiting until you can like really decompress?
Yeah. I think it all depends. It all depends on what I'm doing and what I have access to. So I try to do as much as I'm going, like while I'm traveling. But a lot of times, just given the different journeys that I'm on, things will have to wait until I have a little bit more downtime.
Yeah.
So usually what I've been doing is I'll go out and travel for maybe a month or two, come back, and then I'll repost that content. So a lot of the stuff I'm posting isn't live. So it's mainly just stuff I've gathered from trips, come back, and then that gives me time to organize and actually get it posted.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you travel, because I'm picturing you in the Amazon River in this boat, nobody speaks English. How are you? I mean, there's no Airbnbs, I imagine, in those areas. Like, you just word of mouth? Are you just walking up to people and asking them like, where can I stay? Or how are you mapping this out?
It's funny. So most of the world operates on a lot of American companies. So for example, you mentioned Airbnb. So it's very easy to get Airbnbs.
Really? Okay.
Almost anywhere. So it's very common, especially if you're in the big cities. Like when I was in Peru for 2 months just last year, and Airbnb was very prevalent.
Really?
But I was also in Greece years ago, and we went out to a small island, and there was no like accommodations like that. So we literally, a buddy and I, we were traveling. We had no plans on where we were going to stay. We ended up stopping at the beach, came back, ate at this restaurant, and then we were just going to like sleep in the car. But we talked to this restaurant owner, and he ended up having like a little, not an official Airbnb, but he had like a apartment above the restaurant.
Little penthouse.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, you can rent this for the night. And I forgot what it was. It was like $10 for the night or something like that.
His kids are just running around.
Oh no, we had it to ourselves. But stuff like that pops up too, where you're just meeting locals and accommodations just pop up randomly. So it really depends. So you can use all these different tools that we typically have access to, or you can talk to the locals and find your way around some unique accommodations.
Have you, what is some of the worst accommodations, I guess I would say, like sleeping arrangements? Have you ever like shown up somewhere and you're just like, what is going on with this? Like, this does not match the photos at all.
For sure. Yeah. Have you stayed in a hostel before?
No.
Okay.
But it sounds hostile.
It's funny you mentioned that, because before I started traveling, I thought hostels, because the name sounds, I guess when you first think about it, it sounds kind of...
A hostel sounds like, did you ever play Call of Duty?
Not really. No.
It sounds
my fingers
like,
don't work that fast.
It sounds like when you would play Call of Duty and you would die.
Yeah.
You'd then go down into this like little dungeon and fight somebody one-on-one.
Yeah.
And whoever won that gets to go back in the match.
Right.
Sounds like a Hostel to me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I thought too. That's definitely not the case. But hostels are, for people that don't know, hostels are like, I would say like shared accommodation. Like instead of renting one hotel room.
It's college.
Yeah. Instead of renting a hotel room, you're just renting a bed in a room with strangers. But they're all travelers, and it's fun. I think they're great most of the time. And
so it's basically just like it's like a church camp.
Kind of, sort of. You can think about it.
Cabins.
Yeah. Instead of church people, it's travelers.
Yeah.
And they're usually designed with community as being the focal point. So people are there to meet other travelers, and they usually have different events and things like that too. So it's a really great. I really like them because they're a really great way to meet other travelers.
I'm very naive to this. So Hostel, is that owned by the city or what? Who owns this hostel?
Think of them like hotels.
It's like a hotel?
Yeah. Okay. So it'll be from the outside. It might look like a hotel, and they're just like independently owned businesses. There are some more corporate hostels as well.
Yeah.
But there's an app called Hostel World that I really like using, and it just shows you all the different hostels in the area. So if you go to, let's say, Lima, Peru, you can just say what hostels you want to live in or stay in, and it shows you everything that's available.
Yeah.
But you were asking me about like poor accommodations.
Right.
And I had an experience where I was in Jordan, and this was when I was a poor college kid, and I was meeting up with a group of students from a university. We were going to do a 2-week trip between Jordan and Israel. But I needed to get there a day early because the flights were cheaper, and I was a poor college kid, so I needed to get there early. And I didn't have accommodations because our accommodations didn't start till the next day. So I was like, oh, I'll get a hostel here. So I got this like $5 a night hostel.
Oh my goodness.
Ended up showing up at like 2 a.m. to check in. And the whole place was like dark and grungy.
Yeah.
And
it's shaping up to be a great a place to stay.
Oh, it was great.
$5.
Yeah. And I ended up getting in my bed. And Jordan is a very sandy place. If you've never been, like, it's not green. But
I've been to my cousin Jordan's house.
Yeah. So very similar.
Free.
But the sand made its way into my bed. So I get into my bed to go to sleep, and it's just like full of sand. And so that was probably not the best accommodations I've had before. Right. But if that's also the worst, I'm not doing too bad either. So
have you encountered any like animals? Just, I don't know. I've been in the States, and I've slept in some areas that are not so great with mice and rats and bugs of such.
Yeah.
Have you had any issues with like bed bug, like just anything like that?
What comes to my mind first is, so going back to Peru, I was there, and this is also in the Amazon. I was out there, and I was staying in this, like, they call it a tombo out there. Basically, think of like a screened-in porch is what it is.
Okay.
Like it's like an individual porch with screens around it, and that's like your accommodations. And there's multiple of these tombos in the jungle. Like the jungle of the Amazon is all around you. And so I had my tombo, and there was one night I walk in, it's like super dark out, and like we're out in the middle of nowhere, so there's no lights or anything other than your headlight.
Right.
I get into my accommodation, shut the door, and I always just like looked around for like spiders or anything like that.
Yeah.
Didn't see anything, but I had a hammock in there, so I'm hammocking, kind of resting, journaling for the night, and then I see something just like shoot across, like out of the peripheral of my eye, like
I would have been, fists are flying at that point.
They were close. They were close at that point. And so out of the corner of my eye, I see like this dark shadow shoot across the roof, and the roof is screened too.
Yeah.
So I turn on my flashlight, look around, and I see this monkey.
Inside?
Well, so imagine it's like you have the room, and then the roof, the ceiling is like screen. And then above that is like the metal roof.
I'm going to be tussling with that thing.
So the monkey is on top of the screen, but under the roof. And
talk about what was that kid story? Monkeys on the bed.
Oh, I don't know that
Something?
one.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
yeah, yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I was sheltered. So I see this monkey and just like rustling around my top of my ceiling. I was like, you know what? He's cute, but I don't want him here.
Right.
So I'm trying to like shoo him off with the broom. And I realized he was chasing something.
He's looking
I was
for
like,
Mufasa or Simba or something. Dude.
something like that, maybe worse. He was chasing something. And so I like watched him kind of like move through the rafters a little bit. And then like right above me, I see this big old spider.
Oh shoot.
Like this big, no joke. Also above the screen. And I realized he was chasing it. And at that point, my feelings towards the monkey shifted real fast because I was like, okay, if you're
protector,
if you're trying to get that thing, you're on my side. And so I just let him do his thing. He went and chased the spider around. And I was like helping him too to try to like get the spider out. But I like hit the spider with the broom, and I guess it was a jumping spider. So it just like, and it just like launched somewhere.
really.
And I was just like, I'm out. So I let this monkey do his thing, and I think he eventually got it, and he went off and did his own thing. And thanks to the monkey.
Wow,
but
geez.
that's kind of the most recent interaction with a live animal in my accommodations.
The animals is something that I don't. In the wild, I think I could do a little bit better with it, but something about in the home, in the four walls, animals, they don't belong.
You don't have animals that come into your house very often?
Mice.
Oh, you got some mice here?
Yes, we have. Oh yeah,
Oh no.
we've dealt with about 4 or 5 of them.
Oh geez. So you're a pro then.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the monkeys and rats and stuff like that, I don't think I could do that, bro. So I applaud you for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you have other?
I wasn't formally trained in the spider catching.
Yeah, dude.
But it just, it comes to you. Yeah.
Are you traveling with people, or you're just showing up on spot? Like, I'm meeting people, I'm hanging out.
Yeah. It's a good question. That's the beauty of traveling. So I think a lot of people get hesitant to travel, and whether it's like full-time travel or even just traveling at all, a lot of people get hesitant because they're nervous about solo traveling. That's a lot of times people ask me that. They're like, Brad, I want to go travel, but I don't want to go by myself.
Mm-hmm.
And my encouragement to people is to go travel by yourself.
Yeah. That's what I tell Lauren all the time is I need to travel by myself.
That's probably a different conversation when you're married, but when you're single, you want to go solo travel, I totally advocate for it.
You don't see very many full-time travelers with families and kids.
They're out there.
Really?
Yeah, they're definitely out there. There's a handful that have a pretty good following.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, but
maybe that's what I should do.
give it a shot. Yeah. I think to that point though, just if I could like put this in here, when my first international trip wasn't until college. And my first international trip was to the Netherlands for a summer by myself. I was meeting people over there, but I left on the plane on my own and went over there, met with some strangers and had a great time. Like it was so fun. And then I've gone on trips with people and I've also gone on trips by myself, and there's pros and cons to both.
Right.
And so I think you just have to have the right expectations going into it, and you'll have a great time.
Yeah, the way I can kind of picture that, I'm going to bring up door-to-door sales. Sometimes when things are going bad, it's nice to have someone with you that you can just be like, this sucks. This is a terrible experience.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you're here to endure it with me. But then other times it's like, this is horrible. I don't need to babysit somebody else. I want to just be on my own, knocking these doors and be rejected by myself. So I would imagine like traveling is kind of the same thing. Like you might not feel as free if you have someone with you. It's a little more full autonomy.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah, you're bringing up a good point, because that's exactly what it is. It's like when you're solo travel, you can literally do anything you want to.
Right.
Like you don't have to ask anybody. It's like if you want to go eat at this place, if you want to go do this activity, options are endless.
Right. And if it doesn't go well, it's like, well, I was the only one that had to experience that.
Yeah. Whereas when you're with somebody, then it kind of becomes a little bit of a give and take as to what you end up wanting to do.
Yeah.
But the benefits of going with people is you obviously get to share that experience, and you can relive that with people. Like when I've had travel experiences, even with the guy, I went to Peru with 9 other guys, and all guys from KC here, and even just be able to come back and relive that experience with them. Like we have a lot of cool inside jokes and like fun experiences that we've been able to share. And that's like a really memorable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever wake up and you're like, where am I today? I don't know where I forgot.
It's funny you asked that. So this year, I've actually been keeping track of how many times my head has hit different pillows.
Okay.
And I'm up to 46 different pillows.
Like we talking purple? We talking?
No, we're talking about like if I'm in a, if I'm like in a hotel
you need
room.
a side hustle. We're doing pillow reviews.
Yeah, no, seriously, it could be that.
Memory foam, purple. We got just Walmart, the $5 ones.
Yeah, but it's like if I'm at this hotel, like that counts as a new pillow. If I go to another hotel, and so it's just like I never wake up not knowing where I'm at. But you're just like, wow, I'm like constantly changing things, and with that, it just comes like repacking your suitcase and unpacking and repacking and unpacking. And so that can get tiring if you don't have a process. I will say that kind of brings up an interesting thought, because one thing that traveling has taught me is just being open to the world beyond. And I guess prior to traveling, I would have been like, yeah, why doesn't everybody just convert to US time? And because like we do it, so everybody else should do it.
Yeah.
But then when you go abroad and you start to meet other people and you see other cultures and you actually understand like why they do the things that they do, like even something as simple as time, you start to understand it's like, oh, okay, like they do this thing. For example, when I was studying in Germany, all the trains run on military time, and it actually makes a lot of sense because then you never get confused if it's like 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. It's either like 8 o'clock or it'll say like 20 on there.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Like I can see why people do that. And it just like starts to open you up to, you know, what else do other people and other cultures do that make a lot of sense?
Do you know time zones really well? Like if I asked you, what time is it in Peru right now?
I think they're only an hour ahead of us.
Oh,
but
really? Okay.
Yeah. But that one's easy, I think. Don't quote me on it. That, not so much.
Yeah.
Time zones are still a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
What are some tips? Save me $1, man. Or save me some time.
For like local, well, for local travel, one thing people ask me that all the time is like, where should I start off first? And I think the first thing to like change or be mindful of is like your mindset. And so even when I'm in the US, I try to think of, or even like KC, I try to think of how can I be a traveler in my own city? And so like, you don't have to be a traveler to do, or you don't have to like go abroad and spend a ton of money to be a traveler. I think being a traveler is just being more interested in your culture or your community or the things that are around you, and being really curious. And I think that's what I enjoy the most about traveling is being curious in the people, being curious in the history, being curious in the culture. And so you can do all that stuff in your local city. I mean, for example, we just had the World Cup here.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of different international activities going on in Kansas City.
Yeah, it was cool.
And so my philosophy over the last month has been, you know, usually I'm the one going to other countries, but this time the countries are coming to me.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And so it was just, how can I really embrace the different things that are happening, like going to the different pep rallies from other countries, meeting people on the street who are wearing an Argentina jersey and just being like, hey, are you from Argentina or are you from here?
Did you find anybody
way.
that was like a world traveler, kind of a content creator from other countries?
I didn't run into any other content creators, but I ran into a lot of people from other countries. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you could turn your penthouse into an Airbnb while they're here.
Hey, maybe. Yeah. But yeah, for local stuff, I don't know if I have like a particular tip for like how to save money per se. The US is pretty expensive, but I would say like find something you're interested in and try to like take that on with a new lens.
Yeah.
So whether it's like going to a new spot in your community or even just like going to a new restaurant and just being like, okay, why is this restaurant here? Like who are the, like going to a Mexican restaurant? Like are the owners from Mexico are like, what are they interested in? Like, why did they open this? And
Right.
just kind of being like really curious in those types of
I've
things.
also seen like some pretty cool architecture.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that the right word?
Architecture. Yeah.
Even just like within the U.S. Like I was in Chicago a little bit ago, and like there's some really fascinating building designs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think some of the new modern stuff is still sleek and cool, and but it also sometimes comes across as like simple.
Mm-hmm.
Where some of the stuff in the past, it was like, wow, like
Mm-hmm.
a man's hands literally had to do that.
Yeah.
That was insane.
Yeah.
Is there like some cool buildings or whatever that you can think of at the top of your head that was like, holy, like how did this get made?
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many. I think people always ask like what my favorite city is. And this might be a hot take, but I always say Paris. And the reason I say Paris,
If Lauren was here, she would have spit out her baguette because from what she has heard, sorry, Paris, she's heard that it's not the cleanliest of places.
this is what I would say. Paris is the most authentic to its stereotype in terms of like the romance and the architecture and the history and the culture and how the people interact with you. I would say like everything about Paris met
What you expected.
what I expected.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So that's why, because like every other city I've been to, like even if I go to London or when I was in Istanbul, when I went to Egypt, when I was in all these different countries, there's always cities, there's always something that stuck out that was like, oh, this is different than what I thought. But to the architecture point, like Paris has so many beautiful cathedrals and buildings, like the Palace of Versailles is there, the Louvre is there, Notre Dame is there. And I remember seeing Notre Dame for the first time and just being in awe of the architecture and how intricate everything was. And thinking, people years ago created this.
Yeah.
And then you start to learn like why they created like a church like that. Like it points to the heaven because it was like they were in reverence of God and like how like big and inspiring it was. And so you just like you start to understand that stuff, and it just makes the whole experience even more important. And even seeing the Eiffel Tower for the first time, I remember coming out of the subway, turning the corner, and then it was just like boom right there. And it was so much bigger than I thought.
The last time I came out of the subway, I had a foot long sub, and
your view of the Louvre or your view of the Eiffel Tower is very different.
yeah, I saw Shawnee Mission East high school.
Yeah.
And it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But no, all joking aside, I have actually done like a pretty fair amount of traveling. It's been a little less basically since I had a baby.
Mm-hmm. Congrats.
Notably,
Yeah.
it drops,
big news.
It drops quite a bit.
Yeah.
When you have a baby involved. But I have traveled a lot. Some of them that have been surprising to me was like Utah was really
Utah's
cool.
Beautiful.
Really beautiful.
So cool.
And the time of year I went, like it was just like a very pleasant, like it felt like the air was clean.
Mm-hmm.
It was cool to like, it felt very like you felt like you're in a bowl. With
What part of
mountains.
Utah were you in?
Salt Lake.
I put you on the spot.
Salt Lake City.
Okay. That's a city.
I think that's where I was at.
Yeah. Did you go to the national parks like Moab or
I was literally
Zion?
there for like hours.
Okay.
It was for a work trip.
Yeah, yeah.
I flew us. I was there for a day
Yeah.
and a half. But
Salt Lake City's cool.
really
Yeah.
cool spot. Something about mountains is just like fascinating to
Yeah.
see them. California has like a lot of really unique things to see.
Yeah. You were out there for a while.
It's very like California is a very interesting area because it's so diverse with it can sometimes feel like the Midwest, but then it can also just feel like a literal desert or mountains, or like it can feel like Utah, or it can feel like Chicago, or it can feel like what was it? The sequoia trees.
Yeah.
Very amazing sight to see. Mammoth.
That's the thing. The U.S. is so diverse.
It really
in
is, yeah.
all of everything that we have. Yeah.
Yeah, Mammoth.
We're spoiled.
Mountain It was super cool. I think I mentioned going there. Like they have like some natural hot springs. We went there during the like winter-ish time, and yeah, amazing spot. I think the city is, called Mammoth, and a very small city. But during the winter, they will have millions upon millions of people fly in and snowboard, ski. It's like a huge spot for wintertime travel, cabins and whatnot. Very, very cool area. Is there anything specifically in the U.S. that you would like really encourage people to like check out?
Someone asked me that the other day, and my follow-up question was, what are you interested in? Because it all depends on what you like.
That comes from an ex-salesman. You ask a question, get control of the conversation.
Yeah. I love the outdoors, so I naturally lean towards recommending national parks within the U.S. There's so many there that are great. Like Yellowstone is amazing for a reason. Just seeing Old Faithful and all the different landscapes that are there. But Moab is really cool because of the arches and the sand. It literally feels like you're on Mars.
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain National Park is amazing because of the mountains and the trees and being able to climb Long's Peak. And North Cascades, though, is like a really cool park in Washington. It actually has a ton of glaciers, even more than Glacier National Park. And just the variety of mountain terrain there is so different. Like the mountains in that area have more prominence than the mountains in Rocky Mountain. Like Colorado in general, if you look at the mountains, like they're all relatively flat-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tall, but everything is kind of flat. Whereas out on the West Coast, all the mountains have more prominence. So like they look like they're sticking up higher, but it's just because there's no like other mountains around them that are close to the same size. Like if you look at Mount Rainier, it's a 14er, but it looks huge. 14,000 feet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sky nose ball.
Yeah. And so 14er is the shorthand for it. So if you're going to go climb a 14, you're climbing a 14,000 foot peak.
What's the highest you've climbed?
I did Rainbow Mountain in Peru, and that's around 17,000.
17er.
Yeah, 17er. Yeah.
Huh. That's pretty cool. So wait, so when it gets into the 20s, are we saying 20-teener?
What is that? We'll probably have to. Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Huh.
Yeah. At that point, you have to just give the actual feet, just because you want to keep bragging about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I think we're gonna cut it off there because we're at about 50 minutes, a 15er.
Wow, that was fast.
Yeah.
Time flies.
We're going through it pretty quick. So we'll put a pin in it, but we're gonna do part 2 here in a little bit, and we're gonna maybe play some games with you, have some fun, and we're gonna test your ball knowledge of world traveling.
All right, perfect.
All right.
Let's do it.
All right, y'all.
Put me on the hot seat.
All right, bye.